Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time it is, wherever you are. Welcome to Living Truthfully, the podcast. We shall call this the COVID edition because hey. I'm as Kenyans we like to say where. It's no joke. I've been asking you guys, COVID in our pelekaje. I ask you guys, how you doing? Are you washing your hands, masking up, and I've been doing the same banner. But what? Some are being shown dust. What a season, man. But yeah, how you doing? COVID in Akupelekaje. Are you staying safe? Are you masking? Are you washing your hands? Are you social distancing? In fact, right now, are you just staying home? Because that's what you should be doing. Well, I got COVID. Yeah, I tested COVID positive 2 weeks ago. And what a harrowing experience that was. Yani, I can't believe I went through that. I'm looking for a soundtrack. Yani something to... Yeah, something like that. So let me explain. 3 Saturdays ago now. Okay, let me tell you the story. And I don't know if I have enough time because I'm about to call a doctor because I feel like there's very important information that you should have. So, but basically, I think I got COVID from my daughter who possibly picked it up from school. Or my kids who probably picked it up from school, and their mother got sick, my brother got sick, all of us would interacted with the kids that weekend. The story of, the sickness it's a long story, and I'll share some of it with you. Maybe I'll do a separate pod just now, like after my interview with the doctor. I probably will do a pod so that I give you guys the story, or maybe after the interview with the doctor. But I want to set up the interview with the doctor because I was sick. I was already, home with what felt like flu symptoms. Though I had a crazy fever, I had chills. I was feeling lethargic, which are some of my symptoms. I had a cough, a very dry cough. So I decided to go and get tested. So I was feeling so bad, I had to call a friend to drive me. And so I go to hospital and I get tested. They give me some meds. Just something to manage the cough, something to manage the fever, and some zinc. And then I go home. And why I want to set up this conversation with the doctor is because the next morning, they send, the hospital sends me an email with my results. And the only other attachment with this email is the Ministry of Health guidelines on home isolation and care, but not even really home care. It's like the precautions you should take while caring for someone at home who's sick. Not really how to care for the person or what the person should be doing. And let me tell you, getting these test results, which is already a scary and traumatic experience, and then not having any form of guidance on what to do with this information was probably one of the moments I felt completely lost. Almost completely lost. I now understand why, HIV counseling, HIV testing came with counseling. That thing for like VCT, voluntary counseling and testing. I understand why the counseling was such an important part of that testing, because you need to be able to manage the information that you get from the test. And we already are in a space where COVID is taking so many lives. I personally have lost 4 friends in the last 2 weeks. And I know some of you have lost your parents, you've lost your siblings, your friends. And I'm sorry. you have my sincere condolences. If you're mourning the death of someone in this season, I'm sorry. It's difficult. You have to bury someone within 72 hours. It's not enough time to mourn. So I'm confused. I've gotten these results. I sent a couple of friends a text telling them I've got COVID. In fact, I felt responsible for some of the people I had sort of interacted with the week before. So I felt it was important that I tell them that I've tested positive, so that if they get symptoms, they should go get tested, And so I called a couple of people, and one of the people I texted was my friend and in many ways a brother, an older brother, Pastor Morithi Wanjao of Mavuno. I'd been with him the Saturday before I tested, and I was actually at an event with him. And I told him I tested positive, and the guy sent me information which turned out to be life-saving. And part of that information was some videos by some Catholic doctors. Sorry, I'm running out of breath still a bit, because talking is it takes. I'm out of the 14 days. I'm feeling better, but the after effects is that you still have some of the effects. Mine are I'm still getting tired quickly, and I still have a bit of a cough. Anyway, so the doctors, one of them turned out to be an uncle of mine, and I was so happy to see him, because then I trusted the information. So he's the one I want to talk to, and I'm going to call him. So he's called Dr. Wahome Ngari, and let me see, he's supposed to be available now, so let me see if he's available. Hold on. All right, it seems he's still busy. He told me to call him about now. So maybe what I'll do, I'll give you guys a story of my sickness. So basically, 3 weekends ago, my kids come over. So if you're listening to the podcast for the first time, I'm divorced, and so we sort of I don't live with my kids. We share custody with their mom, and every so often, we have like weekends we share. And so this was my weekend with the kids, and they came and we had a wonderful time. Our weekends look like this. They look like a date night on Friday. And date night basically is time I get to catch up with the kids and hear what's going on in their lives. This is something they do both with their mom and myself, depending on who has the kids over the weekend. They also get to eat whatever they want. So we'll do takeout, we'll do pizza, we'll do Chinese, or we'll cook. They like my signature steak and mushroom sauce, which sometimes comes with coconut rice or mashed potatoes, or my roast chicken with stuffing, and the stuffing has bacon, has mushroom, has onions, green peppers. You stuff the cavity, put a little butter in there, put the chicken in the oven, and it's quite something. Chomoka is nice and moist, and the stuffing makes for an interesting twist. Anyway, I'm not here to make your mouth water, but if they do, ain't nothing wrong with that. So we do date night on Friday. Saturday, we either get to do an activity like go to Karura, walk the dogs, or sometimes just chill, just hang out in the house, have a normal Saturday in. Then Sunday, when there's physical church, in-person church, we'll go to church in the morning, have lunch, hang out a bit, and then they'd have to go back home because they have to prepare for school the next day. So it was one of those typical weekends. So Friday was excellent. Sato, we even did a small barbecue. One of my brothers came because they're cool uncles. And then Sunday, we went to church because we'd already started doing in-person church. But halfway through the service, my daughter said she wasn't feeling very well. She had already started showing signs of a cold. So we'd already started giving her like vitamin C supplements to sort of help her beat the cold. So Sunday we come back home early from church and we are hanging out, and my other brother comes and hangs out with them. Sunday afternoon they go home, and on Monday, bruh, let me tell you, I had the chills. At some point Monday evening, I'm just chilling in the house. I think I was watching TV or something, then I go pee, and in the loo I shiver, like literally shiver, like I'm feeling like I'm in Limuru. I'm cold, almost teeth chattering cold. I couldn't understand it, but maybe because I'd interacted with my daughter who was showing signs of having a cold, I'm like, maybe I picked up something from her. And so, sorry, you're gonna hear some chaos. My dog has decided to do what? He's having a hyper moment. Anyway, so I start popping vitamin C. That week I had like a consulting job, so I was, going to see the client once a week. Just a minute, hold on. Shaka, put that down. Do not even touch it. Dogs, they think because we share a house, we share everything. Anyway, so Friday evening, I sleep early. The week has been fine. Apart from that chills on Monday, I've not really had any other symptoms. But Saturday morning, I wake up not feeling too good. But I have a gig to go to. So I drive to Athi River, and I'm doing this, I'm singing for this event that Pastor M and his wife had put together, and a couple of other people, for Couples and Money. If you don't know about the Couples and Money program, Google it, look it up. It's quite something. Anyway, I'm emceeing for the gig. I'm on Dawa. I can tell that this is just gonna go south. I'm gonna be in problems. I'm gonna be sick. This cold is coming, and it's coming fast. By like 2:30 p.m. that day, the gig is not even over. I'm like, I can't handle. I have to go home. So I come home and I chill. I chill on Sunday. And on Sunday, I call my kid's mom and I say, I'm unwell, so maybe my interaction with the kids might not be too much this week. She says she's unwell too. And so we have almost similar symptoms. So even actually when I went to test now on Tuesday, the Tuesday after, she went to test as well. And we were both COVID positive. So now I was telling you guys that this information comes at a stage when you're prepared for any result, but when it's positive, you sort of, I don't know how to explain, you sort of, you're scared, you get traumatized. You knew it could be one of the results. And then I realized that I don't have any information on what to do if you get COVID. I didn't. No one close to me had gotten COVID. No one around, not that close. I knew people who had been in hospital, some had come out. That same day I tested, a friend of mine, Pastor Roche, passed away. So you sort of realize you don't know what to do. So the first thing I started to do, I took some of the medicines I'd been given. But I don't even know now if I'm on medicine for COVID or if I'm just managing symptoms, because that's what it looked like. You have some vitamin C, which I already had. I was given vitamin D. No, I was not even given vitamin D. I was given a cough syrup and zinc and paracetamol. That's it. So I call a few friends, some of the people I'd interacted with that week. One actually, my client actually got COVID. So, and her and her whole family tested positive for COVID. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm responsible for that one. I don't know. I call other people who were like, okay, including Mugash, who was in the last episode, because that's the week I was taking vitamin C. And he was here in my house, you know. Thankfully, he hasn't shown any signs, and it's been 3 weeks, so we hope he never really got COVID. I was so confused. I was scared. And then let me tell you, sickness and singleness does not go together. What? Yeah, I'll explain shortly. So Pastor M sends me these videos from the Catholic doctors, and thankfully one of the things that these videos do is they tell you what medicine to get on immediately. So I looked at what I had and I realized I was missing, an antibiotic, I was missing hydrochloroquine, the vitamin D, I was missing some things. So I quickly, called my friend, we went to a chemist, I bought these things and I came back home and I started my treatment. Bro, let me tell you, I know we all have different symptoms, but I had a fever from hell. One moment I'd be sweating, my clothes are soaked in sweat. I'm in bed, yani. You can even see a sweat patch on the bed sheets. The next minute, I'm so cold, I'm shivering for, I need a hot water bottle. I'm now looking for a second duvet, to put on top of the already very heavy duvet that I sleep with, and a hot water bottle just to keep warm, because I am cold AF. Hey, my head was heavy. I had a cough from hell. You cough for like a minute, just cough, and I've not even hit 10 seconds yet. Cough. You cough so hard, it's a dry cough, nothing is coming out. It's just an annoying cough. And when it's done, you run out of breath. And just catching your breath. Exhausted from the cough. I had a heavy head. I was lethargic. I was so weak. Someone described it so well. So it's a kind of weakness when you if you're lying down, you sit up on your bed, you rest from sitting down. I remember going to the loo. It was such a task. You come back and you're so tired from literally a 10 steps walk, 10 steps going, 10 steps coming back. The 2 was bad. So I think I may have eaten something that Wednesday. But I remember on Thursday I was hungry at some point in the night. And I mustered strength to go and get some food. So I live in a house with stairs, so I get down the stairs, literally taking everything that I have. I go to the kitchen and I have food. Niko na chakula. But it's not cooked food. There is raw rice, raw spaghetti, minced meat in the fridge, some nyanya, some onions. You have the ingredients, but there's no cooked food. You have no energy to cook. I don't even have energy to make sturungi, which means putting water in a kettle, boiling it, and then putting a tea bag. I don't have the energy for that. But I'm starving. It's late in the night. You can't even glove or dish. You know what, guys, you know what I did? There was bread, I ate bread and water. Bread and water. Well, there was duo. Nilijaribu yo bread na juice kakata. It wasn't tasting right, because also part of what my symptoms is that I had this metallic taste in my mouth. and a dry mouth. Water was my friend. I could had like 4 slices of bread, maybe 5, with water. I was so happy. It tasted so good. I swear it was bread has never I don't even understand how we used to take bread and soda, because bread and water tasted so nice. So after I'm done eating in the living room, again, muster strength, go back to sleep. But at this point I knew I needed help. And so I hollered at some people. One of them, my wonderful cousin Nyam, who had access to my house, came, brought me soup. She cut up fruits, made me dawa, brought me food. I mean, Mugash himself, when I told him, the guy sent me food. He cooked rice and beans and sent them to me, and I've been blessed. I've had good people. One of those days on Friday, I was checking my oxygen levels with an oximeter I'd gotten. I don't know that it was faulty, but my oxygen levels are reading like 86. 85, 86, 87. I'd been told if my readings go below 90, I go to hospital. So mimi nimeona hizo readings, pack my doggy, take it to my kids, have a bag, have my friend who drives me, and we go to OC. Nairobi Hospital, there's a queue at casualty, so long. And I'd already been told that place was full, so I just go to the closest hospital. I mean, Nairobi Hospital was full, Aga Khan was full, and Peshawar was full. So I go to Coptic. I tell them my story, they send me to ER. A wonderful nurse there just tells me to sit and wait. And she tells me I don't have any isolation beds, but just sit and wait. And then she says, let's check your vitals again. And good people, my oxygen levels were reading 92, 93. I was so excited. She said, what are you getting again? I told her 86, 87. I'd even gone down to 84. She says, okay, let's wait a bit. We'll do them again. So we wait. Maybe another 15 minutes. We do the readings again, and my oxygen levels are even higher, 94%. She says, call your doctor. Tell him what your readings are. I call my doctor. He says, do not pass go, do not collect 200. Go back home. And so thankfully I get back home. And I could already start feeling I was getting better. My lungs my lungs were clear. I was breathing okay. Just running short of breath. Hey, what a horrible. I mean, there was a night, Thursday night. That Thursday before Friday, I went to OC. I knew I was going. I'm not even joking. I was going to send a voice note to some guys. Come downstairs, figure out how to keep maybe a door discreetly open so that guys can find me. I had morbid thoughts. If any of you have gone through COVID, you know how this feels like. You know what this story looks like. It's horrible. It's a horrible, terrible disease from hell. Saturday morning, so now I'm almost a week into it. Not even a week. I'm like 4 or 5 days into it. I go have my doctor check me out, and I'm okay. I'm getting better. I'm put on blood thinners because COVID has a way of causing clots, and that has actually happened to a friend of mine who ended up even getting a stroke after surviving COVID. He's better now, but that was touch and go for a moment there. I come back home, and as soon as I get back home, this is like Saturday afternoon, I find my brother here. You know the one who came on Sunday? Yeah. Tight chest. I almost can't breathe. He's in pain. When I see him, and I'm like, this guy has COVID. In fact, I just give him some of my drugs. I'm like, start your medication now. We steam him. Then I take him to hospital. We take him to do a CT scan, and the guy has COVID pneumonia. has affected 10% of his lungs. He's better now, but I was like, when does this thing stop? My kid's mom is huko recuperating. Thankfully, she was doing better than I was. I'm huko, I'm sick. My brother has joined the bandwagon. Hey, can't we catch a break? So my brother, who also lives alone, I invite him over to come, and he graciously does. And he stays in my house as we take care of him. Me, I'm recuperating, him is convalescing. But, we gotta stick together. By this time, I've figured out a system for food. I have good friends. One of the people you must check out is at Bobo Eats on Instagram. At Bobo Eats, we got into an arrangement, and she provided food for us every day for the whole of last week. So, Bobo, thanks, big up. That's my COVID story. My neighbor crossed the road, Tosh's bro, also got COVID. He's better now, but he got COVID pneumonia, so the path of recovery is different. Let me see if I can get Dr. Ngari. If I'm not able to reach him for this one, we'll sort of... he sent me a text. He said, let's try tomorrow. So I'll try tomorrow. I'll try and reach him tomorrow. But for now, guys, that's my COVID story. In a nutshell. A lot of things have happened the last 2 weeks. As I was battling COVID, some gentlemen were battling being cancelled. And I know the debate has been, loud, and, it's still continuing. And as a guy, you sort of feel an obligation to do two things. Speak your truth, but also stand against, also male victimization in a sense. I'm not saying they've been victimized, but there's a potential trend. So let me start with my truth. My truth is that whatever has happened to many young ladies as a result of going on to dates with men that have ended up hurting them physically, emotionally, psychologically, is wrong. A lady should never be afraid, or never have to feel afraid in her pursuit of love and affection and acceptance, because she's afraid that a man might kill her, harm her. And I'm very sorry that a young lady was pushed down 12 floors. Another one was found in a hotel room, broken back. I'm very sorry that happened. It should never have happened. And I want to say that those men are wrong. What they did was evil. And I hope that justice meets them. I'm very sorry. I'm a father to a daughter, man. I pray to God that never, ever happens to my daughter. And I've heard these people who say, if I buy you something, if I buy you a drink, if I take you out, if men are about investment, that's bullshit. There's no day a human being is an investment. No day that your search for love, search for companionship is an investment. That's utter nonsense. She is a complete human being, and there's no day any man has any entitlement to a woman's body at all. We can never have unfettered access to a woman's body. You can't buy it. Listen, even if she's in the trade, she still has consent, the right of consent, and she can say no at any time. And when she says no, you stop. So, that's my truth. The radio presenters, it's a whole different story. But I'll say this. I don't think the punishment was commensurate to the crime. To be honest, I think they were used as an example. And it's unfortunate. But I do realize that what they said was unempathetic. I do realize that they addressed the wrong person in that conversation. They should have addressed the perpetrator. Should have addressed the man or the men who feel they're entitled to a woman's body. And so, yes, their perspective was wrong. I do think there was an opportunity to train, show them what they did different, what they did wrong, and how they could do it differently, and turn those voices into powerful voices. That's my truth. But it is what it is. I hope that the culture of cancellation will not be used against good men who are not yet woke. Wokeness is not we don't, and I've had this conversation with some strong feminists, and I've told them, listen, in my world, in my culture, in my upbringing, in my worldview, some of the things that I'm learning now were not obvious. And I know they say that information is out there, it's my responsibility to find it. But sometimes I don't even know that I need that information. As a guy, my worldview and what you call patriarchy or the male privilege. The truth is, I didn't even know I had privilege. I don't know. Just because it's obvious to you doesn't mean it's obvious to me. And it was until one day I had the conversation about women who are afraid to walk at night because of men. I was like, when I'm walking at night, I don't have the same fear. Well, I'm afraid of being robbed, but I don't carry the same fear as these women. And I realized I have an advantage. I was an adult well into my 30s when I was learning this. It was not obvious to me. Okay? And that's just one of the many things that I think I need to learn. But to be honest, you who is saying it, point it out for us. Please do not assume that we know it. Please do not assume that we know that we need it. Please do not assume that, until it's like this thing for COVID. Until I got it, that all the information that was out there had not been relevant to me. Then I got it. Then I needed that information. And thankfully, somebody sent it to me. Somebody pointed it out to me because I didn't even know where to start searching. All of you woke people out there, all of you feminists that are not male bashing, and I applaud you for creating space, for creating room for women, for bringing into light conversations that we need to hear. I applaud you. Please bring those conversations into light in a manner that will make you, tell us, here, come and see, come and watch, come and understand, and then come and participate. Invite us into this conversation. I don't even know what is politically correct to say anymore. It's just that this is my platform. I'm going to live truthfully, so I'm going to speak my truth. I'm really saddened by the culture of men feeling entitled to women's bodies. I'm saddened by it. And my brothers, stop. Stop. If the roles were reversed, you wouldn't take it. You wouldn't accept it. So stop. Women are people, they're humans, they have feelings, they're not an investment. It's not a car you put in fuel and you expect it to go. No. Let's love them, let's treat them with respect. Let's give them safety and freedom, an opportunity to thrive. Okay. So, I guess I've addressed two things in this conversation, but in some ways are related. Be compassionate. Be kind. If you hear someone is going through COVID, Maze, what I've learned from my friends is don't even ask them, tell me what you need. Send them what you have. If you have food, cooked food, send it to them. If you have, something that they can use to steam, send it to them. If you have herbal things, neem, I had friends send me neem, marubaine, just send it to them. Act. Do something. In the same breath, my fellow brothers, act. Do something. Stand up against what other men are doing that's wrong, that's spoiling our name. Stand up for your moms, for your daughters, for your sisters, for your wives, your girlfriends. Create space for them. Safe spaces. And when we go wrong, call it out in love. I'm not a fan of cancel culture, so I'm not going to endorse that. But I'll still say you can call it out and you can correct and hopefully create a more empathetic society. And again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the ladies who've suffered in the hands of men. I'm sorry. I'm sorry also for you who suffered in the hands of COVID, whether personally or you've lost people. I'm sorry. May the peace of God that surpasses all human understanding guide your hearts and minds. And if you've survived it like I've done, Scripture says that we are comforted so that we can be a comfort to others. Call someone who's going through it. Encourage them. Let them know they can get out. God bless you guys.